Hello, and if you want to learn from this how to draw this using alcohol markers, some pencils, coloured pencils and paint pens, then keep watching. I do hope you like my cute piggies. I drew this the other night and yeah, I just think it's super cute having the piggies on these scooters. And I am well, I've already done some bits, you know, starting off the shop fronts, make it nice and cute with the greens and the pink shop front colours. And I'm just working actually on this pavement that runs across as sort of a stripe in between, and I just figured that's a good place to go next, so I can, you know, get some separation and start to, you know, remember and work out where the lines and things are, because sometimes if you don't have some definition of some areas when you start, sometimes it can, you know, get a little bit confusing, you know, if you're always having to look and think, oh, which bit is the front, which bit's the path, which bit's this, which bit's that. So sometimes just laying something down to get a bit of separation can be really helpful. So I am trying to keep this really nice and colourful, but also I'm just doing this pavement as a grey because excuse me, tickly throat, because then it gives a bit of grounding, a bit of excuse me, another cough, a bit of something to heighten the colours that I'm going to have in the rest by having something a bit plain and dull. So goodness, can't stop coughing. So this is going to be a bit dark because it's under sort of the edge of the shop fronts. This is a bench, yeah, going to be a wooden or colourful, whatever, cute bench. So underneath that is going to be dark as well. Bit of shadow under that, and just make this not particularly doing anything amazing with it, just getting this down as the path to start with. And then I'm going to do some other bits. I'm going to let that dry and I'll come back to it. Don't forget to follow me, Helen Claire Art, on Facebook, or subscribe to my YouTube channel to watch all my other videos and more that I will do in the future. Now, I do get when it's someone else's line work that it can be difficult to know what every section in a drawing is. So for example, you know, this is part of the bike that I'm doing in yellow, and that's the back tire. But, you know, people aren't always going to know that straight off. I get that that's, yeah, oh, the handlebar I want to start doing in a bit of yellow. And I get that, it's not easy. And sometimes you have to really look to kind of, well, oh, what's what, what's where. So yeah, it can be difficult. Take the bits that you do understand and sort of do some base colours on those first, and then at least you're kind of ticking off some areas which help you to kind of deduce, you know, what the areas left are meant to be or belong to which element of the page. So hopefully that's a little bit of help. Probably not, maybe it is, I don't know. Don't have the most amazing red shades in marker pens. Just gonna colour the whole thing in red, and I'll worry about the shading in a bit, because I'll probably end up anyway doing some pencil for finishing touches shadings. So for now I'm just going to get the colours down. I've selected 3 red shades and just get these laid down, and again it's going to help me know, and other people know, which bits are which on the bike as opposed to what's something else in the picture. Shading and depth on this bike with a few different reds. I'm going to do a little bit on these on the bench. This is a bench, I think I said earlier. Just going to do a wooden bench. So I've just got a few colours ready, and this is in the background, so I'm quite happy for it to be dark and something that you don't really notice, just something that's a bit of a blur, not particularly noticeable, but changed my mind. I've decided to attack the thing that worries me the most, and that is the skin of the piggies, particularly the faces. And then if I get this looking all right, the rest is going to be a walk in the park. So I have had a play off camera at what shades, colours would do the job, and actually I couldn't find, other than this pen as a base, which is YR220, a very pale pinky skinish tone, as you can obviously see on the camera. Anyway, the rest I'm going to do in pencil because I just wasn't happy with the range of colours I've got in my alcohol marker pen kit to create the sort of piggy skin tone that I want to create. I'm just gonna begin a little bit of texture with some small scumbling circles using the colourless alcohol marker, and that's gonna give a little bit of texture because this pig isn't going to be an absolute smooth texture piggy. I'm not too fussed about the little feet and bits. The face is the main feature. Just building up a bit of a furriness. Pencils. Now I'm going to build up softly and gently. In fact, I'm going to start with having some rosy cheeks, and I'm just softly tickling the page, and I'm doing it softly because if I do a harsh mark then it's going to be obvious, but also if I do a harsh mark it's going to be harder to disguise and erase if I don't like it. So this is a lovely, what pink is this? Oh, it's just called Pink Rose. I'm using Prismacolor pencils. Use obviously whichever brand of pencils you prefer. But I want some nice, cute, cheeky pink cheeks. So I'm just going to start with that and maybe add in a darker pink in the center. I've got another couple of sort of grey colours, warm greys, selected. And please don't think that people who make videos, I mean, I'm speaking for myself, obviously I can't speak for everybody else, but we do prep before and have an idea of pencils. Some of us do anyway, because my pencils are on the other side of the room, and I do test out marker pens, pencils, and my different mediums to get the shade or the colour or the look that I'm after, instead of wasting your time watching me do it whilst doing a big swatch of deciding which colours to use. I'm just smoothing the pencil grain out a little bit with this similar colour fleshy. I've used a variety of pencils on this now, all sort of peachy mink type colours, because I just was not reaching where I want to get it, so I'm getting really annoyed with it. I'll get there eventually. If I'm not happy after this, I might introduce a slight orangey tone. I did try a bit of a lemon yellow, which I kind of like, but it's not fully doing it for me. A little bit of white here, and it will help if I go over part of the outline, because softening down that black outline just where on the side where the light's hitting can make a difference. So I've already done a little bit of the clothing, and now I'm going to do a bit of the clothing on here. And this is the Fly Away scarf, blown away in the wind. I'm going to go for matching scarf and cute trousers. And blues, I've done blue there, green there, yellow, orange, stripy socks. Just trying to get some, you know, contrast against what I've got in the background. So, oh, let me open that again because I'm swatching the colours I'm using. Always a helpful thing to do. And yeah, you don't have to do it on the same colouring piece of paper that you're colouring on. That's just what I'm doing because I'm filming, and it's just easier. So when I show the final piece, I'll just crop it down so you don't see all my messy workings at the side. But yeah, ideally do it on a separate piece of paper. You don't want to ruin the finished article, do you, of your piece? Yeah, so this is a little flyaway scarf. I'm just going to use different blues, alcohol markers to get light and shade. And then perhaps bring in some details. Maybe in pencil, maybe not, but probably, I don't know, I'm just eyeballing it, see how it goes, and if there's something that hasn't worked out well in marker pen that I'm not happy with, then yeah, coloured pencils will sort that out, because they will go on top, they sit on top of marker pens. Oh, I definitely need some new white Prisma pencils. Definitely. I'm going to attempt a sort of blurry windows with some objects in it which you're not really, nothing that you're meant to know what the objects are, if you get what I mean. Just sort of a blur of thing in a bit of a darkish window. So I'm not going to be with these items doing like a suggestion of, you know, clamp pots or something. And then it's going to be a sort of darkish window with some lights. Right, greys now. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, alcohol markers, yeah. Try and colour sort of a millimetre inside of your guidelines to avoid bleed. If you do bleed into another section, don't be upset and panic. All right, because just use a bit of pencil. So for example, if I went over that green, just use pencil afterwards when it's all dried out. Darker grey and smudge that. That's dark grey and smudge. Done a section of selection of colours, marker pens in the background for the road pavement area, interspersed with some little bits of grey, which helps to sort of show off the colours, you know, against the grey, which is a bit more of a dull colour. And what I'm going to do now is then work on creating this into some paving to make it look better and more like a street or road. I've added a bit of texture using the colourless blender on some of the stones at the bottom just to make it a bit more interesting. And now I'm just going to go over some edges of some of these stones with using the same colour that I laid down originally, just to give it a bit of another dimension. I need to bring in some shadow so that this looks, you know, as if the scooters aren't floating in the air. So I'm gonna start off with that. We're getting down to tweaks now, and I'm just, for a starter, I'm just trying to minimize this black line. It doesn't have to be completely disappeared. Just minimize a little bit. Just the bits at the top, which don't have to do. But I'm happy with how this is going. I think it's gonna look fab when it's done. Gonna do the same here, just with a red paint pen, because that's what's best to go over. I'm just not totally eradicating the black outline, just minimizing it so it's, you know, less obvious. Just a light, thin sweep. Well, I'm happy with how this is going. I'm just it's just tweaks now. I'm darkening in between some of the plant foliage. Yeah, it's just tweaks now. I'm gonna have go at it's gonna be like on a weird angle. I'm just gonna do very soft. This is a lemon, and then maybe a yellow. Try that out. Just very soft. I'm using the side of the nib. I want it to, yeah, be obvious that what it is, and it's helpful that there's marker pens underneath for it to, you know, sort of shine over the top. But I think shining a bit of light out of these headlights will look fab. Little tweaks in the flowers. But before that, I'm going to take this up another notch, and I'm going to add some splashy mud out after coming out of the wheel. So I'm starting off with marker pen and just doing a few splashy splodges. A bit of a darker splashes here, darker at the bottom. Just making sure I keep my pens in order so I know what I've used. Coming in with a bit of grey, just so it's not too brownish. It's looking a bit splashy. And what do I do with that dark one? I do want it just dark there at the bottom. Maybe some splashes up here, which I'm going to have to now highlight. Let's get some white paint pen on the go. And let's give it a go with some smudging. Gonna need all hands on deck for this. Just smudge while it's wet. How are we looking here with the splashy mud? Getting there, isn't it? Can have a brighter highlight on it, but I want it to be a bit smudgy. Thing is, working with things that will work on top of other things, so to give that sort of splashy appearance. Wipe your nibs off. I don't want paint pen stuck on. Bit splash, let me. Did a bit of mud on the clothes. I think I think that looks all right. If I carry on I'll probably end up having splatters of mud all over the place and ruin the whole thing. I don't know, but I'm pretty happy with that, and hopefully you've had fun watching, and hopefully you've learned something as well. So thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. Thank you. I've got so many tutorial books called Colorists Special Effects on Amazon. There are 7 of them so far, and all showing you lots of different techniques, drawing skills, special effects skills. Please do check them out. And you know, colouring and learning is meant to be fun, and I hope my books do that. So do check them out. There's practice pages in some, and also, yeah, check out my Facebook page, because I do put info and help and pictures and free practice pages on there. So anyway, hope to see you soon. Thanks for watching. Thank you.